Hey everybody, hope your day's going well. It's Aaron. So on January 3rd, we've got the sign of the cross in the stars. We've got Jupiter, Saturn, basically the bottom of the cross, right? Jupiter, Saturn, Mercury. This is Pluto, sorry, actually. And it's right in the center. We have the moon right at the left arm. If you're, well, it depends on how you're looking at it, as the arm of the cross, and Venus as the other arm of the cross, and the sun as at the head of the cross. So cool, so cool. So again, Jupiter in Aquarius, Saturn in Capricornus, Mercury right before Capricornus. We've got Pluto right in the back in the core there, Sagittarius, the moon right in Sagittarius, Venus, and the sun. And over here we've got right here is the corona. There it is. Corona Australis. Isn't that cool? So that's on January 3rd. So this is right near, I guess, the tail end of Hanukkah, sort of mid-tail end of Hanukkah. Of true Hanukkah, that is. Okay. Just thought I'd bring it to your attention. So Hanukkah could definitely be a rapture scenario. But Hanukkah, in my opinion now, is such a great candidate to be a mid-trib feast. It's so perfect of a connection to the midpoint of the abomination of desolation, because Antiochus, he basically put his face on a statue and declared himself as God and killed the pig on the altar, which is basically what we expect to happen at midpoint. So here's some things here. So basically what I'm saying is if Hanukkah passes, it's not like we have to wait till next Hanukkah for it to be a fulfillment. I think that the best case scenario for Hanukkah is a midpoint. Daniel 9:27. Then he shall confirm a covenant with many for 1 week. But in the middle of the week he shall bring an end to sacrifice and offering. And on the wing of abominations shall be one who makes desolate, even until the consummation which is determined is poured out on the desolate. So midpoint, if you go back maybe 1260, 1290, we're in that puts us into a spring potential departure. Now I'm not saying that we're going to be doing that yet, but I think that's a fantastic option for 2022 if we're still here, okay? Because of Hanukkah. I'm looking at Hanukkah being a midpoint. It really makes a lot of sense. Matthew 24, therefore when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. This is 24 verse 15. Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. Let him who is on the housetop not go down to take anything out of his house, and let him who is in the field not go back to get his clothes. But woe to those who are pregnant and to those who are nursing babies in those days, and pray that your flight may not be in winter or on the Sabbath. Hanukkah's a winter thing, right? For then there will be great tribulation, such as not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor even shall ever be. Okay, hop over to Revelation 11. It's talking about 42 months. There is a 3.5 day reference. I'll just skip down to maybe 11:11. Now after the 3.5 days, the breath of life from God entered them, and they stood on their feet, and great fear fell on those who saw them. And they heard a loud voice from heaven saying to them, come up here. And they ascended to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies saw them. So this looks like a midpoint thing too, and that kind of seems to point to Hanukkah as well. We've got this 1260 thing in Revelation 12. Let me read that. Then the woman fled into the wilderness. I just read that in Matthew 24, where she has a place prepared by God that they should feed her there 1,260 days. Now I should read one more verse here, which is like almost the last verse in Daniel 12. And from the time that the daily sacrifice is taken away and the abomination of desolation is set up, there should be 1,290 days. If we pass this Hanukkah for rapture potential, I think Hanukkah, doing the math and subtracting from it, could be really great. Minus around 1290 from Hanukkah, it gets you into right around the Pentecost season, the Feast of Weeks season, depending on how we calculate this. Don't have this fully figured out yet. But I think it's an awesome scenario if we're still here, let's say January 7th, then we could start looking at some spring options. We could take a look at Purim as well. But I think this is big. I'll have to show some more stuff on this if we're still here in January, of course. Keep looking up. I think the star thing is cool that we've got a sign of the cross, January 3rd, 2022. Get tight with Christ. This world is not going to get back to normal. All of us that are watching know that. If you are new to watching, not getting back normal. Shino look too good, okay? Get tight with Christ. Salvation verses in the description box below. It's about you entering into a relationship with Jesus Christ. Nothing else really matters about. You don't need to actually figure out the date to get raptured. It's fun to watch. It's fun to look. You can think that it's imminent. You can think that it's appointed. We're on the same team. Okay? Get tight with Christ. See you in the clouds.